Now inside the app directory, make one more folder named dashboard, and then inside that make one more folder named slug, and then inside that make a file named page.tsx. Now here we are going to import our Prisma. So Prisma from app slash prismadb, and now change this function as export default async function page, and inside that we are going to have params and params, then slug, which will be a type of string, and then inside the function, and then we can have our product id. So const product id is equals to parse int params dot slug comma 10, and now save it. Now let's go back to our browser. Now if I click on any of these products, I'll be directed to this page. Now as you can see, this is not empty, and the URL is dashboard/1, which is the product ID. Now if I click on this one, this is /5. So this is the dynamic route. We have completed it. Now let's render our product data here. So for that, below this, we're going to have const product, and we are going to fetch this product directly from our database using Prisma. So at prisma.product.findUnique, and here pass the product ID. ID is equals to product ID. Now let's return. So div, and then here, and now inside this div, let's pass our product dot title and save. Refresh. And as you can see, now we have our product title here. So that means we are successfully fetching the products. Now remove this and write our JSX. So first give this a class name maxW of 1280 pixels, MX auto to make everything in center, PX5 and PY5. Then we are going to have a one more div with a class name font semi-bold, text to Excel, MB2, and inside that we are going to have a anchor tag pointing to the home page, and then below this div we are going to have a HR tag, and then we are going to map over the product. So if the product is present, then we are going to have a div. Now give this a class name grid calls to mt10 and cap14. Now let's go above, and here write const URL string is equals to product dot images. Now inside this div, if the URL string is present, then we are going to make a component here which will be image gallery, and here we are going to pass our image URLs is equals to URL string. Now let's make this component. So now let's make this component inside the dashboard folder at image gallery.tsx, and now let's import that here. Now inside the image gallery, first make this a client component. Then inside the props, we are going to have image URLs, which will be a type of string. And now let's pass that image URL, image URLs. And also we are going to import use state and one icon. Now inside this function, we are going to have a state which will be selected, image set selected, image use state, and the default value will be 0 and it will be a type of number, so write number. Then we are going to split our image URLs, so that const URL array is equals to image URLs dot split by comma. Now let's write our JSX. So inside this div, first give that class name images grid calls 7 and one more div with the class name all images flex call span 2 and justify center. Then we are going to map over the URL array dot map URL comma index, and we're gonna have a div with a key value of index, then a class name image relative and rounded lg. Then inside that we are going to have an image tag, and this will have an onClick function which will have set selected image, and then we are going to pass our index. Then we are going to have a class name, width will be 70 pixels, h will be 70 pixels, rounded lg mb3 and p1. Object cover, object top, and if the selected image is the same image, then we are going to provide a border which will be 1 pixel thick. Then border color, otherwise the border will be 1 pixel thick and color will be purple 200. Then inside the src we are going to have URL, and inside the alt then its index plus 1. And now below this div, make one more div with the class name of selected image, call span of 5, then one more image tag, class name h of 600 pixels, w auto, object cover, object top, and then inside this URL we are going to pass the URL array, then selected image index. And now let's save and go back to our browser, refresh the page, and let's save this as well And now we have all our images here, and you can also select them to see in bigger view. Now we are going to use one more component to display the user info. So that will be info component, and then we are going to spread the product. We are also going to pass rating is equals to average rating, then number of comments, which will be equals to all review dot length. So these three values we are going to pass, but these two we haven't made it yet, so we are going to remove that. And for now we are just going to pass the product. So let's make that component inside the dashboard. So write info.tsx and make this a client component. Then import use state. And then we are going to use the React star. So open a parallel window and write npm I React rating star with type. And now we are going to import React stars from React rating star with type. And then we are going to import all these icons. Along with that, we are also going to import size component and import link, then import use session from next.react. Below that, we are going to define interface props, and here we are going to define types of each and every value from the product. So first will be ID, which will be a type of number. Then we are going to have a type, then title, which will be a type of string, then description, which will be a type of string, category, string, style, string, store, string, size, type of string, inventory, number, color, string, then price, number, then images, string, user ID, type of number, rating, number, and number comments. It will be a type of number. But for now, comment these two, as we are not passing the rating and number comment right now. So we have to comment those for now. And now let's pass all this inside our component. So remove this, and here write react.fc, pass props, and then inside here write title, description, ID, price, color, size, and user ID. And now let's import this component in our case.tsx. So let import info and save it. Now let's separate the colors and size from the string. So first will be colors is equals to color dot split by comma. Then we are going to then split sizes is equals to size dot split by comma. Then we are going to have our user data from session const current user is equals to session dot user dot id. So current user id. And then we are going to make a state which will be selected sizes set selected sizes use state. It will be type of array string and the initial value would be empty array. And now let's define a function to select the sizes. So that handle select size, and inside that we are going to pass size as a string. Then if the selected sizes dot include size, then we are going to filter that size. So that's set selected sizes. And now let's give this a type which will be string array. Else we are going to push that selected size in our array. So at previous state type will be string array split the previous state, then pass that size, and this should be square bracket. So this will be the function to select the sizes from our buttons. Now let's add our JSX. So first give this here, give this give this div a class name of relative and info. Then inside that make h1 tag the class name of text to excel font semi-bold, and then we are going to pass our title here. Below that h3 tag is the class name text sm, text neutral 500. Here write the store. That's I think we did not pass store here. Then below that make a div with the class name of flex item center space x12 and empty 4. Then we are going to use get stars. Here we are going to provide the value. For now let's provide 2 as a value. Then give the size which will be 20 and close it. Then write a span, then give a class name flex item start space x3, and inside that we are going to use our icon which is fa reg comment dots. Size will be 22 and opacity will be, and then below that make one more span with the class name opacity 70 and text will be sm, and then inside this span we are going to pass the number of comments. For now let's write 121 comments. Now below this div make h3 tag with a class name of font medium and create MB3 text of 14 pixels and then write select size. Then we are going to use another list. Let's give this a class name of flags and a space of 5. And now we are going to map over the sizes. So let sizes dot map size, then index li. First give this a key value which will be index, then class name p of 1 tx2 border of 1 pixels rounded lg cursor pointer inline block text center, and if the selected sizes dot include the size, then we are going to give bg black and text white, otherwise bg will be white and text will be black. Then below this class name write on click function, and this will call the handle select sizes, and then here we are going to pass our size, and inside the li pass the size value. Now let's save and go back to our browser, and here as you can see we have our title, then the store name, its ratings, number of comments, and our sizes. Now let's continue building this page. Now below this UL we are going to have one more S3 tag with the class name font medium MT8 MB3 text of 14 pixels and write color available. Now map over the colors dot map color index. Inside that make a deal with the class name of relative width of 35 pixels and height of 35 pixels, border of 1 pixel, border neutral 400, margin of 1. Then we are going to have some styles. So styles will be border radius of 100%, background color will be color, and then display will be inline block, and also pass key which will be index. And inside this div make a span with the class name w of 30 pixels, h of 30 pixels, rounded full flex top 50 pixels, top 50%, left 50%, translate x minus 50%, and translate y minus 50%. Then position will be absolute and border will be 1 pixels. then give a style, then give a style, which will be background color, then pass color. And now let's save and go back here. And as you can see, now we have two colors here. Now outside this, make one module with the class name of flex item center margin top of 7 space x10, and inside this div we are going to use a component name add cart, and this will take product id is equals to id. Now let's make that component inside our component folder dot tsx, so that tsrafce, and make this our client component, and I'll import that inside the info, and then go back to the add cart. Now import link from next link, then we are going to import XCS, then import use session from next.object, then use router from next navigation, and also we are going to import two icons, which is inside the prop we are going to define the type of product ID, which will be a number. Now pass this inside a function product ID and refresh the page. And inside the add cart function we are going to have our user, so that const data user session is equals to use session, and then from that we are going to have and from the session we are going to have a user ID, so that ID is equals to session dot user dot id. And now let's make a function to add the product to our cart, so that const handle cart, and inside the function we are going to use a try and catch block. Const response is equals to await, and to use await we have to make this a async function, await xcs dot post, and then provide the API endpoint, which is API slash cart. We haven't made that yet, but we are going to make it after we finish this component. And then inside the body, inside and then inside the data body we are going to pass product ID, which will be product ID, and then the user ID. So after we add the product to our cart, we are going to send user to cart page, so router dot push slash cart, and also we are going to console the response dot data. And if you are getting this kind of error, that means you have to provide the response here, then this your error will go away. And after that we are going to catch if any error happens, so catch error and console dot log error, and then we remove this one and write if the session dot user is exist, then we are going to return the JSX, and that will be div with a class name of flex item center SpaceX 4, BG purple of 600, text white, PX6, P2, rounded full, cursor pointer, and inside that we are going to use our icon which is CI shopping cart with size value of 24, and below this span make one more span in the class name of text.sm, and then inside that write add to cart. Now let's save and go back to here. Now let's save and go back to our browser, refresh the page, and we are not seeing anything here. The reason that we are not seeing anything here because we haven't logged in to our website. So let's log in. So now I have logged in. Let's go to our page, and here as you can see now we have our add to cart. Clearly this combination is not good. So for that remove this, and here we are going to change the function a little bit. So if the session dot user exists, then we are going to have this, otherwise else we are going to push the user to our sign in page. So write router dot push and then that sign in page. Save, and let's go back to our, and now let's sign out and click on this, and if I click on the add to cart button, it's not, let's inspect it, console, and then inside this div right on click and then pass the handle cart function. Now let's save, and now if I click on this I should be directed to the sign in page, and as you can see I have not logged in, so I have been directed to the sign in page. And now if I go to our page, we can now click on this button, and as you can see we got an error because we haven't defined the API route yet, but this combination is good for our website. And now that our add cart component is ready, now we have to make our API route to add that product to our database. So let's go to, so first let's go to the Prisma schema, and here we are going to define the model for cart. So model cart will have a ID with type int, and this will be auto increment, then product ID, and it will be a type of integer, then product, then we are going to define the relation between product and the cart, relation fields, product ID, and then reference which will be ID, then on delete, cascade. Similarly we are going to have user ID which will be a type of integer, and then we are going to define the relation between cart and user, that relation fields will be user ID and reference will be ID, and on delete, cascade. Then below that at the rate double time index, product ID, then one more time index, user ID. Now inside the product, below this add cart which will have a relation to cart, and then provide the array. And similarly inside this cart, then array. Now let's save let's and and let's push this schema to our database so that npx prisma tb push, and we have successfully pushed the schema to our database. Now let's go to our API folder, and inside that we are going to make the route to add the product to our cart. So let's make one more folder named cart, and then write route.ts. So first we are going to import our Prisma and the next response. So we can which we can copy from here and paste. Now we are going to make our function export async function, and this will be a post request and request, and then we are going to have our body which we are going to get from await request dot json, and from the body we are going to get two values. First will be product id and second will be user id, and then use try and catch block const, and inside that first we are going to check if the product is already in our cart or not. So that const existing cart item is equals to await prisma dot cart dot find first, and here provide where, so product id then the user id, and if the product is not present in our cart, then we are going to add that product in our cart. So that const product is equals to await prisma dot cart dot create. Inside that pass our data which would be product id and then the user id, and then we are going to return next response dot json product, and if now write catch block in which we are going to catch errors console.log error adding product to cart, and then pass the error, and we are going to return next response dot error, and now save. And let's go back to our browser, refresh the page, and now if I click on this, I'm getting an error. And what is that error? Let's see what is that error. So to solve that error, you can just close the server and restart again, and in that way you will be able to uh, and in that way you will be able to add product to your cart. So I have added that product in my cart, so I'm getting directed to this URL, and I'm going to check if my product is added to the cart. And as you can see, I have one product which has product ID 1 and user ID 1. Let's add some more. So this time I'm going to add different product. This product number 5. So let's click on this, and as you can see, I am getting directed to this page. And if I run this query again, and you can see I have two products in my cart, one with product ID 1 and 5, and user ID is 1, which is me. And now let's check if I add this product again in my cart, will it be shown here or not? Let's click on this button. As you can see, I'm getting this error, request failed with the status code 5. So I'm not able to add this product again in my cart. Let's try one more time with this, and if I click on this, I'm getting redirected to this page. That means our product is successfully added to the cart. As you can see here, when I'm again clicking on this, I'm getting this error. To solve this error, we can write our API code in some different way. I'm going to show you how can you write this API route code in other way, so that you will not get this error. So for that, remove this if statement, so that if the product is exist in our cart, then we are going to first delete that product from our cart, where id is existing cart.id, and then we are going to add that product in our cart. Await prisma dot cart dot create, where data, product id, and user id, and then return next response dot json product. Now let's save and refresh the page. Now this product is already in our cart. As you can see, we have 4 numbers here as already. Now let's click on this button again, and as you can see, we are getting directed to the slash cart page. That means we have successfully added our product in our cart. Let's query this. As you can see, we have still our phone number product, but as you can see, the ID changed from 3 to 5. That means we first deleted that product and then added that here. That is why the ID changed from 3 to 5. Now this practice is not very good practice, because you first have to delete and then add for if the product is already inside the cart. So to avoid that problem, you can just disable this button, or you can just directly send the user to the cart page without adding this product to our cart again. There's multiple ways to solve this problem. I'm not going to solve that problem. I'm just saying you that you can solve this problem in this way. So I hope you will add that functionality to the add cart component. And for now, I'm going to leave this code as it is. And with that, we have completed our add cart component. Let's go back to the info, and we have to add some more JSX here. So below this div, so now below this div, make HR tag with a class name of W9 by 12 and MT of 10. Now below that, we are going to have a div with a class name of grid calls to, and gap will be 10, opacity will be 70, MP5. Inside the div, make a span and give a class name of text sm flex item center space x4, and now inside that we are going to have one more span with a class name of p2 bg gray 100 and round it full. Now inside that we are going to use our icon which is CI credit card 1, give size of 24 and then close, and below this span make a p tag and write secure payment. Now duplicate this 3 more times and change this to SL tag, and here write size and fit, then change this to Lia shopping fast solid and write free shipping, then lastly remove this and write pi q focus theme and write free shipping and return. Let's save and go back to our browser, refresh the page and write inline block and add this to everyone, and then save it. And now it's looking good. And now lastly below this tip we are going to have, if the current user ID is equals to user ID, then we are going to have a link and provide the href, and it will point to slash edit slash id, and inside that link we are going to have a span with a class name of absolute top 0 at 0 p2 bg green 600 rounded full text white cursor pointer, and then inside this span we are going to have our icon which is AI to turn edit size will be 24, and then close this. Let's save and go back here, and now we have a edit button. This button will be shown to only those users who have created that product. Since I have created this product, this icon is being shown to me. Now if I click on this, I'll be directed to the edit slash code, but we are going to work on this later. And with that we have completed our info section and the image section. Now we are going to work on other part of this page. So let's go back to our page.tsx. So now below this we are going to add one module with the class name mb20 mt20. Then inside this div make one module and add a class name flex item center space x5 mb10, and inside that we are going to have a span with a class name of w of 5 pixels and height of 30 pixels, bg purple 600 and a rounded full inline block. Below that make one more span with the class name of font medium and text axle. Inside this write product description. Now below this we are going to use product. So if we present, then we're going to have a div with the class name of grid grid calls to, then one more div with the class name of flex item flex call justify center, then one more div with the class name of grid calls 3 gap 5 and margin bottom of 5. Inside this div, make one more div, and inside you're going to have a S3 tag with the class name font medium and right category, and below that write p tag with the class name text sm text purple 500. Inside that you're going to have product dot category. Now duplicate this two more times and change this to dress style, and this one to product dot style. Then this to store, here write product dot store. Now below this div, make one more div and give this style. Inside that, first border color, which will be product dot color dot split by comma. Then we are going to use the pop, which will use the last color of the string. Then we are going to write some class names. First will be leading 6 text sm text neutral 700 height of 200 pixels border of 1 pixel with rounded MD padding 4 overflow scroll. And now inside this field, let's pass our HTML. So write product dot description. Now let's save and go back to our browser. Refresh the page, and here you can see in our description box we are getting HTML text, but we want simple text. So to do that, we are going to first remove this, and here I dangerously set inner HTML, and then add one more curly braces HTML, pass our product dot description if present. So now save it and go back here, and now as you can see we are getting a normal text here. Now below this we will make one more div with the class name of flex justify and relative item center. Inside that we are going to have an image, the class name of max height of 300 pixels, w of width of 10 by 12, rounded lg, object cover, and inside the src pass product dot images dot split by comma. Then we are going to have the last image, so pop. Below that we are going to use a span the class name, text lesson, absolute, bottom to, right to, text white, and font medium, inside span, right, product dot title, and save it. Let's go back here, and as you can see, our product description part is ready. And now let's work on the comment and rating system. So now below this we make one more div with a class name of mt20 mb20. uh, Inside we can just copy that from here and paste, and here write comment and review section. Below this make a div with the class name of grid calls to. Inside make one more div, and below that we are going to have a review component. Here we are going to write review about this product. So product dot id and user id is equals to product dot user id, and then close it. Now let's make this component in our component folder. Write review dot tsx. Assume there is a collection. Instead of passing product user id, we have to pass the current user id. For it, we are going to get the server session from Next.js, and then we are going to pass the options, and from that we are going to get the session, and from the session we are going to get the user id. So remove this, write const current user id is equal to session dot user dot id. Now pass this current user id. Now pass this current user id in the user id bar. And first make this a current component, then import use state, and then import it starts, import NextJs, then import user router. Inside the props we are going to write product id, which will be a type of number, then user id, which will be a type of number, and put question mark here, and then pass this here. So write product id and then the user id. Next, inside this function write const router is equals to use router, and const default review form is equals to use state is equals to star will be 0, then comment will be empty string, then product id will be product id, and user id will be user id. Now let's make a state here, const review form set review form is equals to use state and then pass default values. Next we're going to write on change function. Next value, which will be type of any, and write set view form previous state, spread the previous state, then push the value of star, which is next value. Next, write one more function named handle change. We're going to have an event, and this event will be type of react dot change event of HTML input element. Write const name, and we are going to have const name and value from our e.target. Set review form previous state, spread the previous state, and pass name and its value. And lastly, we are going to write function to post our review in our database. So write const post data. It will be a type of async function, and inside that we are going to use try and catch block. Const response is equals to await access dot post, then API route, which is API slash review. We are going to make that later. Then we are going to pass our review form. Then we are setting the review form to default values, and then write router dot refresh. And I think we have imported the wrong router. This should be from next navigation. Lastly, we are going to catch the error, then console the error. And now let's add the JSX. So inside the div, we are going to have h1 tag with the class name of text excel, font medium MB4, and write give your opinion. Next, we are going to have h2 tag with the class name of MB2, and write give rating. And below that, we are going to use a react star. So write react stars, then pass the on change function, which will be on change, then pass the value default review form dot star, then pass the size, which will be 17, and is edit is equals to true, and active colors, then active colors. So active colors will be first red, then orange, then if you're getting this error, you have to write s at the end. Below this, we are going to have a s2 tag with the class name empty4, and write your comment here. And next, below that, we are going to have a div with the class name of, and inside that, we are going to have an input, which will be a type of text, and the class names border of 1 pixel, border purple 300 rounded LG W full and it will be 40 pixels. Focus border purple 500 outline and px2 mt2 and then provide name is equals to comment on change function it will be handle change and then value will be review form dot comment. Next below that we are going to have a button to submit our review. So write a class name px5 v2 border of 1 pixel pg purple 600 text white rounded lg and margin top of 5. Then we are going to have an on click function. Then inside that we are going to pass our post data function and here write submit. Now let's import this component in the page.tsx. So import review and save this as well. Let's go here and here as you can see now we have a comment section. You can give stars and write some comment. Now let's work on the API route. For that first go to the prisma.schema and here we are going to make a model for comment. So at review and first will be ID which we are going to copy from here. Next we are going to have a rating which will be type of int, then commentary which will be type of string, product ID and it will be type of int and then we are going to define the relation product at the relation fields and product ID and reference ID on delete cascade. Then we are going to have a user ID so we can copy that from here and paste here. And now let's add the review inside our product and the user ID. So here write review and then I empty array, copy this and paste here. Now let's add this table in our database. So here at npx prisma db push. Now we have successfully pushed the review table in our database. And now let's go to the API folder and make API route. Name this review and inside that write route.ts. Then we are going to import Prisma and next response. So copy that from here and paste. And below that write export async function and it will be type of post request and then first we are going to get body from request.json and then we are going to destructure that body. Inside that we are going to have a number of star, comment, product ID and then user ID. and this will be equals to body. Now below that we are going to have try and catch block. So at const review is equals to await prisma dot review dot create. Inside that pass the data rating, it will be star, and commentary, which will be comment, then product ID should be product ID, and then user ID, which will be user ID. Next we are going to return our next response. So that return next response dot JSON and review. And if we get any error, then we are going to catch that error and then console dot log and then return next response dot error and now save. And let's go to our page.tsx, and now let's go inside the review.tsx, and here let's console our response dot data, save, and let's give 4 star and write amazing. And let's open our console and press on the submit button. We are getting an error. Let's see what is it. So if you are getting this kind of error, the most efficient way to solve this is to stop the server and restart again. Let's refresh the page. Now let's give a 4 star and again write amazing, and then submit. And as you can see inside our console, we are getting our response.data, commentary is amazing, then ratings for user ID, product ID, and ID number. Let's go to our database and check if it is in our database or not. So that select everything from review. As you can see, we got our comment here. Now we have to map our comment over here so that user can see. So for that, let's go to page.tsx, and now below this we are going to have our reviews, so that all reviews is equals to await prisma dot review dot find many, and then inside we are going to pass where the product ID is product ID, and then we are going to write some code to get the average rating from our ratings of that product. So that let average rating is equals to 0, then if the all review dot length is greater than 0, then const total rating is equals to all review dot reduce acc comma review, and inside that return acc plus review dot rating. This should be returned, and then here pass 0. Outside this we are going to have average rating is equals to total rating divided by all review dot length, and this will give the average rating of our product. Now let's map over the review. So inside this table, we're going to have all review dot map review index. Inside that, write a div with a key value of review.id and class name of mb5. Inside this div, make h1 tag and then give a class name of mb2 font medium, and here write comment index +1. Then here we are going to have a review section. Inside that we are going to pass a review. Let's close it, and inside the dashboard we are going to make that component review section .tsx. Let's make this a kind component, and then import react stars. Inside the props we are going to have rating, which will be a type of number, then commentary, which will be a type of string, then product ID, which will be a type of number, and user ID, which will be a type of number. Let's pass that here: rating, commentary, product ID, and user ID. Now inside this strip we are going to have our react stars value will be rating, then is edit is true, then active colors, we can copy that from here, and then close this, and below that write a p tag with the class name of empty2, and then here provide commentary. Now let's import in our page.tsx, import review section, save it and save this as well. Now let's refresh page, and here as you can see I got one comment over here. Now let's comment one more: subscribe to channel and like the video, and now let's submit, and as you can see I got the data in my console, and then after a short period of time I'm getting my comment over here. Let's comment again: poor, one more area as well. So our comment and review section is working fine. Now let's pass the average rating to our info and the number of comment in our comment part. So let's go to our page.tsx, and inside the info we are going to first go to the info.tsx and uncomment this, and then pass rating and number of comment. Now let's go to page.tsx, and here pass the rating, which will be average rating, and then number of comments, which will be all review dot length. Now save and then go back to the info.tsx, and here remove this and write number of comments, and then inside the value we are going to pass rating. Now let's save, refresh the page, and as you can see the rating is 3.5 and the number of comments is 3. And with that we have completed our individual page of our product with review and comment section, description, and the info and images of our product. Next we are going to work on this edit part, where we are going to edit our product